fantasy friends. I'm the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart from HotRoster today, and finally we've reached the granddaddy of them all, the biggest game of the year, Super Bowl 51. It's both an exciting time and yet somehow a sad time too, considering we only have one DFS football slate left until the preseason comes again in August. So we gotta make the most of it. HotRoster doesn't have a card that is specific to the Super Bowl, but they still have plenty of matchups you can play for Super Sunday on some of their amazing mixed sports cards. So let's highlight what some of them are and make some picks. The first matchup you'll find features the terrific Tom Brady of the Patriots going up against the Iceman Matt Ryan of the Falcons. HotRoster is making Brady just a little more than a 1-point favorite in this one, which I got to say doesn't deter me from taking him. With Brady, you know you're going to get the volume. He has thrown 30 or more pass attempts in 9 of his last 10 games, and he's also tallied at least 3 touchdown passes in 3 of his last 4. You put these trends together and add the fact that the Falcons give up the 3rd most fantasy points to QBs this year, and it has me thinking, even if Brady and the Patriots lose, he'll still have a huge day against Atlanta. No disrespect to Matty Ice, I don't think he's going to have a bad game or anything. I just believe the Patriots D will do a better job of limiting his big play ability. I like both the high floor and ceiling you get from Brady. That's why you got to take him in this matchup. One matchup that pits 2 teammates against each other on HotRoster sees Tevin Coleman as a 2-point favorite lined up across his Falcons teammate, Mohamed Sanu. Both guys, you might say, are similar in the sense that they both take a back seat to other players on the Atlanta roster, namely Devontae Freeman and Julio Jones. Hey, but at Super Bowl 51, it might be Tevin Coleman's coming out party. Sure, the Patriots, they've been great against the run, giving up just 4 rushing touchdowns all year, but they have struggled big time to contain backs in the passing game. New England gave up 102 receptions to running backs this season. That's good enough for 2nd most in the NFL. They've also allowed 808 yards receiving to running backs, which was good enough for 3rd most. So even if Coleman can't find room in the running game, I think he carves up the Pats D with his ability to catch the rock. It also doesn't hurt that Coleman has scored at least once in 5 of his last football games. Now, I know Sanu has been a touchdown machine with touchdowns in 3 straight games, but I think that streak comes to an end this Sunday. Give me Coleman for the W. Last but definitely not least, HotRoster is also placing LeGarrette Blount as a 1.5-point favorite against his Patriot teammate Chris the Hulkster Hogan. And you know me, fantasy friends, I love pooches. That's why I'm all over Hogan here. Everyone knows Hogan emerged from the AFC Championship as a key cog in the offense that day, thanks to his 180 yards receiving and 2 scores to boot. But his game wasn't necessarily a random occurrence. Hogan has been a big part of the Pats' offense all season long, having played over 900 snaps and earning 70 targets. On Sunday, he's expected to be matched on the outside with Falcons corner Robert Alford, who has been vulnerable against the pass. Alford has surrendered 70 receptions on 114 passes into coverage and allowed 9 touchdowns as well this season. We also know that LeGarrette Blount has been fading. He's been losing snaps to Dion Lewis and has become touchdown dependent, considering he hasn't topped 51 yards in 5 straight games. That's why I'm taking the Hulkster brother, Chris Hogan, over Blount. Well, that's it for today, my fantasy football friends. I hope you're going to love Super Bowl 51, and best of luck with your HotRoster picks this weekend. And for those of you who don't know what HotRoster is, you got to check it out. Go to HotRoster.com, download the app, give it a try. It's like no other fantasy game you've ever played. And then for help winning the game, check out HotRoster today with me and my buddy Gary and Thorne every weekday at 4:30 Eastern, only on the Fantasy Sports Network. For HotRoster now, I'm Cam Stewart, and I'll see you on the virtual gridiron.